Okay, so this is going to be a short video. Welcome back. Let me know how this microphone sounds. I bought a pair of microphones and a receiver that goes into my phone. When I'm over there in January, late December, January, then we can both have a microphone. You can hear what we're saying. I've had a couple of little glitches with this thing. Maybe I should have spent more money, but it is what it is. So we'll see how this works. If it doesn't work, I'll send it back to Amazon. I'll get another brand. So a lot of things have been happening. I just worked a 7-day week. I had yesterday off, so I apologize for the video being a day late. I got to go back to work as soon as I finish this, and we've got Thanksgiving coming up here in the U.S. is next Thursday. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody in the U.S. Happy Thanksgiving to any expats that are watching this that still celebrate Thanksgiving that live overseas. It is just a tradition, and so I need to get this next week's work all crammed in to be home on that date. Try and get back on schedule. So a lot of things have been happening. I mentioned that we're getting married in January. I hope, depending on what the U.S. Embassy in Manila says, we got to get this legal capacity to marry. Notarized letter from the U.S. Embassy. That's the last hurdle, and then we can finally tie the knot. Um, with that, when I come back at the end of February or at the end of January, the beginning of February, I will apply for my wife's CR1 visa. That's the spouse visa. As I've mentioned before, she had a problem with her B1, B2 visa. That's tourist visa. She's on a 5-year restriction. It's a minor thing. And so we don't know if this is going to go through or not. Uh, if they resist, then okay, it is what it is. But I'm going to start having the world's largest yard sale. I'm going to start selling everything off except for some of my personal items. I'll put those in storage. I'll leave my furniture in the house because I'll be renting out the house as a furnished home. That way, young people that are just getting started, maybe have a couple of kids or whatever, uh, they will have a little easier time living here as a furnished home. I'm going to be applying for my retirement, Social Security, on March 3rd. That will make me 65 and a half years old. I just turned 65 in September. Uh, it's just a couple $100 more if I go that extra 6 months. It is what it is. I originally planned on going to 67, full retirement age, actually 66 and 8 months, but 67 is when I initially planned to retire. But with life changes and things like that, I'm not going to be an absentee husband and father to my wife and stepdaughter. I want to spend time with them. I want to begin a life with them. So this is happening. I plan on moving over there on the 1st of June, retiring from my job. May 31st being my last day. We'll see how this all pans out. But in the meantime, I'll be selling off everything. I'll be putting money in the bank and things. And then when I move over there, I'll have a little bit of a nest egg and get vehicles and things like that. But we found an apartment, a townhouse. It's 3 bedroom, 3 story. We only need 2 bedroom, but it's got a third bedroom and it's within our budget. We had initially broke everything down, knowing what I was going to get on Social Security. Excuse me. And we figured a 30,000 peso budget was adequate, and then 30,000 for food. You got another 6 or 7,000 for electricity. I mean, you break everything down, then that still leaves more uh, for incidentals, school clothes, tuition for my stepdaughter, things like that. And we don't want to run right up to the maximum on our budget each month. We want to be able to save stuff. We want to go take trips. We want to scout for properties and things like that because I'm planning on being over there 1 to 2 years. We'll see what the State Department says on this CR1 visa. If it's 12 months and two weeks, like they say, then probably by the end of March, we should have that CR1 visa. This is in 2025. So I'm going to move over there in June, and we were looking just to see what we can get for 30,000 pesos. We found this really cool townhouse. It's 3 bedroom, 3 story. Yay, more stairs. Okay, but if it's only 1 to 2 years, that's okay because eventually I want to build a villa or a bungalow, whatever you want to call it, 1 story, all on one level, double lot, just so I have a little bit of yard and the house doesn't take up the whole lot. Most of the houses there, you've only got just a little narrow path around between your house and the fence. I'd like to have a little bit more. I'd like to enjoy some outdoor activities, sit out on the patio, and and have a cup of coffee in the mornings or whatever. Um, I was looking on the listings, and we found this. It's available in mid March. Okay, so I will send if we can get this place. She and her parents are going to go look at this house. It's in Cainta. That's Rizal province. It's east of Manila, the Metro Manila. Now, Metro Manila is really spread out. You've got Pasig, which is in Metro Manila, but it's right across the river from Cainta. So you can see where the border is. Um, we uh, I thought that it was kind of important if we could find a place in Cainta because that's where she and her daughter and her family, she lives with her family. That's where they all live right now. And this place, it's only, I don't know, somewhere between 2 and 5 kilometers away from where she's living now. We thought that was kind of important, or I did, where my stepdaughter can stay in the same school. She still have her same friends and things. So the transition into this family life will be a little less stressful, little less impactful. So this townhouse is available mid March. If this can go through, then I will send some money over. If she can get the place in mid March or first part of April, however it works out, she and her daughter can move in there. They can establish the household. So when I get over there in June, then we have a place that we're living, and we can start our lives with less impact. I mean, anytime you join forces like this, there's always the impacts. There's always the growing pains. I'm trying to reduce that as much as possible. And where she lives with her parents right now, then her and her daughter can have their own space and they can enjoy this. Her daughter's really never had her own room. She's always slept with my fiance, and so I think this is going to be good for her. I hope you enjoy it, Leah. I'm doing this for you, girl. Um, anyway, so I'm rambling, and I will draw some money out of my savings, send that over. That'll give her uh, several months to pay the rent, several months of groceries, several months of electricity. I'll budget all that out, send that money over. I trust her with money. I sent a large sum over a couple of months ago, and she's been using that to buy the rings, to get wedding dress, book a venue, pay all these fees that you have to do for marriage. I mean, this money will be there, and when I get over there, we'll have some left over. That's what we'll use for our travels. We plan on going up to Pampanga. That's north of Manila. Uh, I've mentioned Clark Air Force Base. We gave that back to the Philippines back in the 90s. Now it's called the Clark Freeport area. They just call it Clark. There's big international airport there. Used to be a B-52 runway or runways. Anyway, so the former U.S. Air Force Base in Clark is now an international airport. So if I want to fly out, I can fly out from Pampanga, and it's usually cheaper to fly out of Clark than it is to fly out of Manila. uh, it is what it is. So we're looking at the possibility of maybe moving there when I finally sell my house. I'm going to rent the house out for 1 to 2 years. I don't know yet. It depends again, like I said, on that CR1. So um, we're going to scout out some areas up there on New Year's, um, and when I move over there in June, we're going to scout out a lot of other areas. I found a place down in South Rizal province. It was on a hill. They're building a subdivision. It's on a hill overlooking Laguna de Bay. Google it. It's a really big body of water, and it flows into Manila Bay. Um, it's freshwater, but it's beautiful there. It's a little bit farther from Cainta than where we're going to be. Well, of course, we're going to be right in town proper, um, just a different barangay. Now, remember, I said barangays, different districts within a city. So, anyway, we're looking at several different places. I've got about 5 different places I'm looking at. I'm not all on Luzon. There's some other islands I would like to look at. Negros Oriental, where a lot of expats go. Dumaguete, um, and Valencia and Darwin. Those whole areas really are attractive, and they're probably less money to build on than what it is on Luzon, unless you're out in the provinces. So depending on what happens, then that will dictate what I do. Uh, Ideally, we would be there for 1 to 2 years until our CR1 comes through. I'll be renting out my house in that period of time. I'll have a property management company that'll do this, and we'll see. Plans are are only good until you meet the enemy. The enemy is all of the other external factors. So we'll see how things work out. Just wanted to give an update. If we're able to get this apartment, townhouse, excuse me, it's really beautiful, fully furnished, 30,000 a month for pesos. It's really cheap U.S. What, $500, something like that, maybe less, 450, 500. We will um, get that, and then it will be there when I get over in June. Like I said, I'll be selling off a lot of things here, and I'll have a nest egg when I move over there by scooter, maybe a used pickup truck or something. I only need something to last me for a maximum of maybe 2 years. If the CR1 is going to prove to be more of an impossibility than what we fear that it may be, then I will fly back. I'll put my house up for sale. I'll sell off the last of my personal items, which will be in storage. And as soon as the money hits the bank, I'm back over there. We'll start looking to build a house. Hopefully by then I'll have some property. I'm going to buy a double lot as soon as I can, once we find the location where we want to be. Um, I will sell the house in 2 to 3 years. The house will be worth a lot more than what it is now. The market is dead flat. I could not get uh, hardly anything out of this house. It's only a year and a half old, but 8% interest rate. Nobody's looking to buy. The rest of the economy, people are worried about having their jobs all the time. It is what it is. It's just really tough in this U.S. market right now. So stay tuned. We'll see what happens. I had another video planned. I will get that next week. Hopefully next week I'll be back on track. I'll be back on schedule, and it's a pretty impactful video that I got planned. But I wanted to test out the microphone. I wanted to give you guys an update. I'll give them another update as soon as I know whether or not we're going to get this apartment, this townhouse. Sorry. Um, and it's really a cool place. It's got great architecture. It's not very old. I'm going to say 5 to 10 years old, but it's in great shape, fully furnished. So that is something that was attractive to me, because I'm not going to buy furniture and then 2 years later have to sell all the furniture. Plus the expense and everything. And at the end of 1 to 2 years, we'll see where we're going with this. Got a lot of changes. Like I said, you can only make plans, and then they all go away. So I'm trying to make plans as I can. We'll see how it works out. So stay tuned. Next week, I will have probably more in depth video on something that's pretty important to me, because the fact I'm marrying a single mother, and it affects so many people um, in the U.S. Yeah, I mean, you got a lot of single mothers here, but a higher percentage, I would say, in the Philippines. And I'll go over why that is and some of the root causes. And I will back out of here now. I hope this microphone worked through the whole video. It didn't on the first take. So I love y'all and stay tuned.